Howdy, everybody. So yeah, after someone said he's not gonna ever drink Zero or Mountain Dew, I went and looked, and that's because I was out and I guess forgot to take it off. So I apologize. So instead, I took that off, but I did pick up some Cherry Coke Zero float. So Michael Rose, Sprite 041. David Sprite 039. Cap is Pep 036. Smokers Black Cherry 35. Jimmy says Dr. Pepper Cream Soda and 39. Muscle Shell, welcome. 7-Up Tropical Zero. Did you have a year? I didn't see one if you did. Chris Holmes, Pepsi Cherry 039. Joe Minnick, Barks 38. Got that one. Billy, yes, I got yours. And Marsh, Pepsi Cherry 38. And I'll run down the list here in a minute of everybody that I have. Tim Ivins Coke 30, Coke Cherry Float 38. Got that. New Marshall Fresca Peach 36. David Rubens Barks 36. Mark Spafford Coke Cherry Float 38. Let's see. So I think everybody in here is so much. I've probably already gotten it. It does help, but not necessary, but it does help. So far I've got drinks and years from AG74, BH, Billy, Cap, Chris H, David C, David R, Garrett C, Jim Thompson, Jimmy, Joe, KJ, Mark Spafford, Michael Erickson, Michael Rose, Ed Marsh, New Marshall, Smoker, Tim Ivins, VMC, Argent, and Kentucky Fried. So if you do not hear your name, I do not have both a year and a drink. Yenny says Sprite 039. Mike S, Bark 40. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to just let you guys know, in case if you didn't see, I did post a message. I think it went to just members, but I'm not sure. But on the 7th of every month, so I'm going to take everybody that was last month, that is a searcher, which is $2.99 level, or hunter, $4.99 level, and they will be entered into a monthly drawing for a giveaway, probably a copper round, but it can be, maybe a coin or something like that, something numismatic probably, about under $5, but a giveaway for anybody that is a searcher or a hunter level. If you are not, or you are just a 99-cent supporter level, you can upgrade to one of the other higher levels and still be entered. So up through the 6th is anybody that upgrades is still eligible to be entered. So just a little give back with the memberships. Everybody's been donating memberships and supporting, so I just want to kind of give back a little fun giveaway thing. So tomorrow is the last day to upgrade if you are not a hunter or a searcher, and you can upgrade or become a member. And on the 7th, sometime during the day, I will download the list of names that YouTube has, so it's their official list, not me just making it up. And I will post that into like a wheel drawing or something, and then I will film it and post it as a probably a short or something like that. But so if you want in on that, I did post that, but I think it was just a members post, so I've got to probably change that. But again, if you want in by the 6th, be a supporter or a searcher. I'm sorry, a $2.99 or $4.99 levels searcher or searcher or a hunter. And tomorrow is the last day you can get in on that. And then, like I said, I will draw it on the 7th. Post it sometime during the day of the 7th, so it could be morning, it could be evening, it could just be whenever, depending on the day. So, and hello everybody that's been coming in. Holders Pest Control, welcome. Right now I've got drinks and years, so I'm going to read down the list one more time. If you do not hear your name, I do not have both a drink and a year. I did see that, Jim Thompson. Coin Hunts, Fresca Peach 39, got you. So if you hear your name, you will have a drink and a year, both. If you do not hear your name after I'm done, then I did not get you on the list. So running down that list, it's AG, 74, BH, Billy, Cap, Chris H, Coin Hunts, David C, David R, Garrett C, Jim Thompson, Jimmy Licari, Joe Minnick, KJ, Mark Spafford, Michael Erickson, Michael Rose, Mike Schleiz, N Marsh, New Marshall, Smoker, Tim Ivins, VMC, Yenny, Argent, and Kentucky Fried. I see Vincent with the Pepsi 036. I've got you on there now. And again, if you did not hear your name, I don't have both a drink and a year. I'll look at that message in a minute. David C, Sprite 039. Yep, I already got yours. Yeah. I try to do it as a perk, but you can't do that giveaway as a perk. But you can, from what I've understood, I can do it the way that I'm offering it. So I guess we'll double check and find out for sure. But while we're finishing up that, I got some more Buffalo nickels in. I was going through them, see if I had any in my collection. I added a couple, but I did add, we'll go to the scope and show you this. Nope, let's move that stuff. It's a little bit hard through the plastic, but that isn't the best one. I think this one was. 1936 S over S. You can see down here, kind of in the corner a little bit, down at the bottom. And then on this one, it's super obvious with that S over S. So I was glad to pull that out. And then I also pulled a semi-key date out of the lot that I had bought. And it was, I think, a 1926S. Take here in just a second. I did add a couple, not a ton, but yeah, 1926 San Francisco semi-key date, and then two 1936 S over S's. So that was a pretty good batch. Did order some more because I wanted to make sure I have enough, and now we've got some. All right. I think everybody's probably pretty much done guessing, so we will get that up. And the winner, there was two of them it looked like. Fresca Peach. And I believe it was Coin Hunts, Texas, and New Marshall that had Fresca Peach. So you two, I will get your name on the wheel. Hey, Lisa Anderson. What other coins do I hunt? I hunt nickels, quarters, and halves mostly, because I don't get pennies. I know a lot of you chose that Coke Cherry Float, but I had already got that one out before I thought of what I was going to get. I just kind of usually grab one, and that's what it just happened to see and grab. All right, so let's get Coin Hunts, Texas, and New Marshall. You guys are on the wheel now. Jim2Gate026 going to give you some points. Thank you for subscribing. You should have a couple million points to gamble with now. If you missed it again. And Jim Thompson, I did see that you had upgraded. So I will be getting those in the mail to you. I'm sure you've already got a sticker from before, but the Hunter level, the Searcher level, the $2.99, you get a vinyl sticker, one of the heavy-duty ones. And the $4.99, you also receive one of my magnets. So both of them were with the Hunter $4.99 level and the Searcher $2.99 level. So I've got Jim upgraded. I will get those to him. And the stickers are like a heavy-duty vinyl, so like if you put them on a Yeti or Stanley or something and you know hand wash them, I don't know about the dishwasher, but like hand washing, they don't just come right off. All right, let's get the box open. Oh, looks like we have 25 likes. So let's get that going. Exclamation GAW. Exclamation GAW. While we're doing that, I did get a couple packages sent out today for William E. from his hunts, and also I can't remember who else, but I think they bought some 5-ounce rounds at a giveaway or something. I can't remember. Anyway, they're in the mail. You should have your tracking info sent to you. Got a couple good-looking candidates for being old, but I don't see anything jumping out with Buffaloes, V's, or War Nickels. As usual, we do have our nickel bounty. If we get a V nickel, a Buffalo nickel, and a War nickel, you win the nickel bounty, and it is a shield nickel. You can see the 5 and the stars there. Like going like that, of course, being plastic, it's hard to see, but you can see that. And then the back, same thing. If you put it like that, you can kind of see the shield on the back. Exclamation GAW if you want in on the giveaway. BH, this was the list that I had for you that you were still looking for. I know that we have found that 41 Denver, the 52, the 52D, 52S. The D I know is a hard one to kind of tell, but it looked like a D. And then a 54S and a 58 Philly. Still have not found a 2009 Philly for you. So these are the ones that I have marked off. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully we'll find some more for you. See how much time we got left. We got a minute and a half. Exclamation GAW to get in on the giveaway. It's 1 ounce copper round. I'm just going to unwrap this to get ready for when we actually start searching. We did already start the stream with 25 likes, so if you haven't liked and subscribed, hopefully at least like, because I do giveaways at 25, 50, 75. At 75 likes, we do have our special. Garrett has a bag of coins, foreign coins. This is about 3/4 of a pound. That is for the 75 likes. And you also get a buffalo nickel with it. And then with, yes, let's shorten it. With the 100 likes, as soon as we hit 100 in a stream, we'll start a giveaway, and that is a 1 ounce made in USA fine silver Walking Liberty on that one with checkerboard back. So 75 is a bag of foreign coins and a buffalo. 100 likes is a buffalo and the silver 1 ounce round, courtesy of Garrett C. See the time left, and then we'll get started. All right. So we have 29 names in. We're going to pick a winner. I did up the timer from 3 to 4, just to, seems like it was always kind of running out before everybody got a chance in. And N Marsh is our winner tonight for our 25 likes. I did update the list. That's our pretty much updated list. So I can send that to you. There's a few that still are not on there, but I've updated with ones that were on there that were not on there. So there you go. Hold on for what? So if you need, I can email that to you. Just send me an email, dadhuntscoins@gmail. Still do need to claim your prize at least, even if you already know what you want. But I can send that to you if you want to take a closer look at those, or like I said, if there's one that you know that you want. We do have our slots and gambling and adventure and stuff like that. You're struggling, all right. Well, we'll still be here. We won't be going anywhere. So if you are not a subscriber, if you subscribe, you instantly get points. Otherwise, it makes you be in the chat. For about every 5 minutes, you gain a little bit of points. But once I see someone without many points, like they, chatted and that sort of thing, I go in and add points to them. But subscribing is the quickest way to get some points. Hunting box for BH tonight. Hopefully we can mark a lot of those off the list, at least from the last list that I had. I am on live chat, by the way, just to make sure you know. And for all those that came in while I was doing all the stuff, giveaway and all that, welcome. I have not gotten any new 2026s. Like I said, I usually don't until about midway through the year. But, hey, 74D has just sent 10 memberships. So, congratulations. Thank you, Jim. Or 74. As I say, Jim sent them last time. So, let's see who got memberships here. We had Kentucky Fried, Lisa Anderson, Coin Collector Grady, Foster Finds, Mona, CSL, sorry. John Bryan, Tommy John, Black Widow, and Jenke. Hopefully that's right. That was 74 Deeds that donated those 10 memberships. So if you want to thank him, 74 Deeds is the one that did that. All the new members now have emojis that they can play with. And it's always nice when you see them go to people that are in here and not just were in here one time and then never showed up again and stuff like that. But you do have new emojis for you guys that are members that you can play with if you would like. And we'll pull out all the 64 Denvers, like that one, to check for D over D at the end of the night. I'll also pull out 63 Phillies to look for the triple die reverse, the TDR. And for those new people, when you see this box come out, usually that means we have a find. And KJ usually throws up the arrows that says your guess, and you put what year you think that nickel is. If you get it right, you get your name on a wheel of names that is throughout the night. And at the end of the night, we spin that wheel. So you do not have to be present to win, but you do still have to claim your prize, which means you would either have to go back and watch that last part of it if you had left, because some people have to, go to work and stuff. And because I'm Mountain, a lot of people East Coast, they're 2 hours ahead of us. But usually the fines are going to be from 1959 or before. So about the only time it's not is if it's a like foreign coin. And we're pretty good if we see someone put a year in that, like say when it's a buffalo or something, we try to let people know, hey, that can't be a choice because they didn't make them that year or whatever it is. We got a second find out of that rolls. That's a good one. So just put the year that you think it is. That was out of roll 3. We've gotten 2 finds. I'm going to unwrap this, and then that should give you enough time to get in. Thank you, Jimmy. Perfect timing. I'll let Michael Rose in. And this one is a 1940. We're starting off early. Janelle, a little bit late, but you can start on that guess if you want. I'll go through and get this on the board and then find all of our winners. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Argent, was he the only one that got it? If Argent was the only one that got it, he gets his name on the wheel 2 times. If you were the only one that gets it exactly on, you get 2 entries on the wheel. So if multiple people get it, you get 1 entry, but if only one person gets it exactly on, then that person gets 2. That's one of the emojis. I think I have nailed it or something like that. And welcome, Janelle. So if you want to put your year, I think you already did, but if you want to put your year, if you haven't, this is to guess what you think the year is. And if you get it, you get your name on the wheel of names that goes throughout the night. And at the end of the night, we draw. So you have a chance to win off that wheel. It does not make you winner, but it gives you a chance to win. So, all right, we got 40. I assumed your 43 was still what you were going to be, but we had at least one winner in 1941. So, another 40s. So we had a 40 and a 41. Let's see if we can go older, not newer. Yes, that is true, Garrett. I should have caught that. That couldn't be a 43 because that would be a warp nickel. 41, we had KJ starting it off, VMC. Had David in 74. And I think it was Mike, yep. Mike S. So we got usually plenty of chances throughout the night. Usually there's anywhere between, usually the average is around 15 finds per night, unless it's a 2009 or a 2024. Those are the ones we don't guess, but the other ones, usually there's around 12, 15 of them that we can guess on. So you got plenty of chances. And we do try to catch it like Garrett, and I didn't see it until afterwards, but we try to let people know if it's something that it cannot be that year. For example, a 43 would have been a war nickel, and war nickels are only part of 42, 43, 4, and 5. Welcome, Eric. Watching from the Philippines. Awesome. Got a few people that come in from other countries. Philippines, Canada. I think there was another one, I can't remember which one, so I apologize if I forget. After the regular part of the stream, you're so close. Awesome. For the subscriber count, I assume anyway. Unless you mean close as in a country. You know, Texas can sometimes be a foreign country to some people, but it's one of those that Texas kind of the 240, sweet. Can't remember, did you do a announcement video or anything? Because I try to give a copper round for anybody that's hitting. Hey, B Waller rocks also. There we go. B Waller donated $2 super chat. Thank you. If you want to watch some fun stuff, he does a stream. He hunts coins, dollar bills, does metal pouring, melts like copper and pours it into Orbeez and stuff and makes little pours, I guess you call it. Does giveaways. He's a fun guy to watch. I try to watch him if I'm awake at least, or not doing something else. So check his channel out. You can do !ME and it will post your channel link. Anybody is welcome to do that. So if you are a content provider, and doesn't matter what you do, you can be metal detecting, it can be putting on makeup for all I care. You can do !ME and it will put your link up just like they did, and it pulls up the channel, and then you can click and you can subscribe to their channel. Still got a few years coming in, but we'll finish that up here. Thank you. We got a 1954. First one from the 50s. Get that on the board, and then we'll see who won, unless someone already beats me to it, which usually they do. I guess my number lock should be on if I want to type numbers. There we go. 1954. I'm sure we had a few people at least. I got a 52 and a 56. We got a 53. Got a 55. I don't see any 54s. Is it just the 53 and 55s, it looks like? Garrett and Argent, yep. Argent's on it tonight, man. He hit it exactly straight on and got 2 entries on that one. And then he gets this one. At least you got 1. You didn't get 2, but yeah, close. And I do either above or below, so it's not a Price is Right thing usually, unless it's specifically stated, like on a giveaway. But I also look for like the 75 Denvers. This is not a high D, but I do look for the high Ds. I know some Heidi's. Bad joke. You know both of these? Cool. Stop it, BMC, taking my points away from me and creeping closer. So everybody that's in there should have points. You can gamble, you can do slots, gamble, you can do adventure, duel. Jimmy took over some of the cams. If you guys are spying on me, you guys sure have a boring life. At least, not during the stream. I guess if you're spying on me during the stream, that makes you smart to see what I'm pulling out of the rolls. And on that 40, I forgot to check it. But a 40S is one that you're looking for, and it is not that one, sorry. And the 54S, we've already got you, but it's a Philly also, so. I guess we'll see how the giveaway goes. I might have to change some rules or something, but hopefully everything turns out good. I tried putting it as a perk, but you cannot do that as a perk. Time for a buffalo or nickel? Yes, it is. Any time is good for that. Whoops. Can't see Streamlabs and never know if I win or not. That's weird. Don't know why it wouldn't show it to you. This one here could be a, hey Joey, could be a good one because it's kind of one of those ones that look like maybe from the 40s or something like that. Got that kind of brownish hue. It's probably not, but hey, you never know. I guess we'll find out. What do you know? It is a find. There we go. We've got a new year to guess. This will be anywhere from 38, because 38 was transition year from Buffaloes into Jeffersons, all the way up to 59. The only ones that cannot absolutely 100% positively not be is a 44, 45, or 46. Because those years, no matter what, cannot be if it doesn't have the big mint mark. So anywhere from 38, Michael Rose, you'll probably want to guess, because I don't want to say for sure, but 99.9999462% is 59 or older. Well, don't know what year that is. It's a 19 something 4. I think it looks kind of like an 8, but can't tell. Someone drilled right through it. Weird. Tonight's drink brought to you by Fresca Peach. I guess I'm actually sponsoring them because they're not paying me. I'm just showing advertising for them now. It's supposed to be the other way around. They're supposed to pay me to advertise. Yeah, can't tell if it was an 8 or a 6, but it looked to me like one of those, so it should be good enough time if we're ready to throw that in there. A 58. Did anybody get a 58? 50s we're going, nope, not tonight. We're not going to get left behind. And I'll get it unblurred here in a minute. Janelle, let me get you some points. You just showed up, so on the list. So you should have a couple million points. Teresa B just subscribed. Thank you very much. Texas got it exactly on. Sweet. You get 2 entries if you get exactly on. So we've had 2 of those tonight. We had Argent get it, and this time Coin Hunts Texas got it. Appreciate you guys finding those for me. So in case if you're new here, just lurking and not sure what we're doing and afraid to jump in, what we're doing is we're guessing years. So we're hunting nickels, and when I put one up on the screen, we guess what the year is. If you get it correct, you get your name on a wheel of names throughout the night. At the end of the night, I spin that wheel, and whoever wins gets a 1 ounce copper round. And I did update the sheet mostly, and those are pretty much updated. So those are all the different copper rounds that I have. So if you win, you just have to email me, and then of course you can either go back and watch that last part if you're not here, because you do not have to be present to win, but you do have to claim your prize. It is free. You don't It doesn't cost you anything. I send it to you out of my own pocket, which is what super chats and memberships and all that go to. It greatly helps with that cost. So we had 74 donate 10 memberships tonight. And then B-Waller did $2 super chat. Those are greatly appreciated. You also have, if you don't want to do a super chat and go through YouTube, you can always go through just my regular Streamlabs link. And that is !tip if you want to go through there. We got 10 rolls down. We have 4 finds, so not as good as the other night, but you never know. Some nights it's very slow and then picks up, and some nights it starts off good and slows down, and you never know. And if you also want to know all the different commands for like the gambling and stuff, it's !commands, no space in between exclamation and the word. And if you do gamble all, it does not spend all of your points. It only goes up to, I think, 100,000. So if you put all, it just basically puts the max amount. You're scared. You guys are battling it out. Again, you should have plenty of points. If you've become a member, you get automatic points, or just being in the chat gets you points, but not as quick. Becoming a member, you get 10,000 instantly. Kentucky Fried said, time for a buffalo. Clover, 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 which I'm assuming is luck, luck, luck. Thank you very much, Kentucky Fried. I don't know if it popped up on the screen or not, but I didn't hear it. Again, everything that comes in, I just use for the majority of it is shipping. Sometimes I get to send 2 in one envelope. But this was Monday's stream. 1, 2, 3. See, that one's a double. 4, 5, 6. Plus some stickers and stuff. Hopefully you have fun, even if you're enjoying watching and not playing games and stuff. That's completely 100% fine. I just want people to enjoy what they're watching. We're at 37 likes, so looks like about 13 away from another giveaway, but we'll see how many come. I did the 25 like right at the beginning of the stream. We'll probably do a 25 or a 50 like here. I'm guessing by halfway. It's usually around when it is. Another 64 Denver. We'll pull out and look at the end. If you're on a mobile, you can just double tap the screen. You don't even have to go and do dots and go down and click a like and everything. You can just double tap the screen on a mobile, at least an Android, and it'll hit that like button that way. I know sometimes iPhones get a little bit weird with some of that stuff. Just like on Super Chat, you can usually tell if it's an Android or a iPhone, because iPhones are end in 99 cents, like 99 or 199 or whatever. And Androids are usually even dollars, like 1, 2, 5. Oops. Hell. First I drop it on the ground and then I drop it in my throwaway trash box. I don't use a garbage can, I just use an old Sam's Club box, and then I just throw it all in there, and when I get full I take it out to the garbage. If I don't have a new box, then I will just empty it into the garbage and reuse it, but usually I have a box. It takes a couple hunts to fill it up, even with the after stream part. I think it was last stream, I think it was KJ gave a $2 super chat for getting a haircut, probably for my face because my head doesn't have much. Sorry, I haven't cut it yet. VMC, okay. I knew it was like one of those short names, KJ, VMC, something. Can't remember who, but I apologize for that. It's hard to remember exactly, but at least I was kind of close. Although, is that kind of close if I'm comparing you to KJ? Those in blue, like VMC and KJ, are mods. They help me out greatly. There's others that are great helpers that just they don't have the official blue shield. I was going to say blue wrench, but they changed it from a wrench to a shield. Maybe they're trying to make it into Power Rangers or something. Insult to KJ. That's okay. Thank you, BH. I do have that, so when we hit a 75 like and a 100 like, we have special giveaways. Past Spare Time once on a auction. It was Dad Learning Coins that had won it. And so I got a package from Pa, and I opened it up, and I'm like, what the crap? What the heck? So, turned out it was supposed to go to Dad Learns Coins, or Dad Learning Coins. Can't remember which one. But it was like, oops. So I just repackaged it up and sent it, and they were like, we'll get you some postage. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. You know, a few bucks, things happen. Looks like a few of you have received extra rounds. One because I sent it to the wrong person, and one because the mail decided to eat their package, or their envelope. Had 2 rounds in it, and then finally show up a month late. This is the sister box to the one on Monday, so Smoker donated $2 through the tip line. $74 is $8.01 away from losing Stream Boss. That's my notification saying donation came through. That is the nice thing about the tip instead of super chats is YouTube takes 30%, which is still great because, you know, 70% is still better than 0. But Streamlabs only takes usually the processing fee. The only time it did it weird was BH had sent one. And the only thing I can figure is, for some reason that night, they ended up taking more. Maybe it wasn't even like a Canadian exchange rate or anything, but there we go. But they ended up taking like 42%. It was like, what the crap? But yeah, YouTube takes 30% of anything, membership, super chat, super stickers. But Streamlabs, the majority of it is about the processing fee. I think the highest, besides that one from the other night, was I think like 8%. Because it just runs directly through PayPal, not through Google. Hey, William E., I sent your package out today. I'm sure you got the notification for the tracking. What's funny is yours costs less than the one that weighed 1/3 of the amount, but that's probably because of the zone. You're probably a closer zone than the other one was. So your package that weighs 3 times as much, because yours was about 3 pounds, and the other one was 17 ounces, and yours cost about $1.50 less to ship. No idea. The only thing I can figure is because of the zone distance, that sort of thing. Hey, Crafty. Get Joey Brown in there. I was unwrapping that. It's kind of a gunky, icky one, but it's a 1946. Looks like he's got some kind of medical condition going on. But it's another 40s. Usually we're opposite. Usually we're more of the 50s than the 40s, but tonight it's back and forth. Spray on tan. I know we got at least a couple people that got it. Let's see. 46. We got Michael R., Jimmy. Oops. Jim Thompson, William. Lyle. Michael Rose, Jimmy, Jim, Thompson, Willie, me, and Lyle. If I missed anybody, holler. I think I've got everybody. No one's hollered at anything besides those, so. Chocolate syrup. Well, maybe he went and had a fun party with some of his. Was he the one that had a bunch of slaves? Can't remember. $38 watching and 42 likes. Awesome. That means people have come in and left, which is completely fine. I like it if people stay, but it's not a requirement. I know some people kind of come in and out right as the, you know, looking for the like stuff for the giveaways and things, and then what's funny is when you have a night that there's a bunch of likes, like say you get 50, 51, 52, and then all of a sudden it drops to 48. And when you look at it, there's actually a few times where someone had gone in and disliked the stream. Maybe they figure, I didn't win, I'm going to dislike it. Doesn't bother me if you dislike it. I don't go off of the dislikes, I look at the number of likes. I think it was one of my kind of a joked around video type thing that I had quite a few that didn't think that was funny. I think it was when I was washing my coins. It showed me putting a box of $50 in the washing machine, saying I can tell through the holes that they're kind of dirty, so I figure I'll clean them. They say not to, but I figure what the heck. I close the lid and then I open it up and I pull out a box of nickel, or a box of quarters. I go, well, we still have the same amount. Each of them are $500, but now these are only half the size and only worth half the amount. So I was afraid to put them in the dryer because then I was afraid they might shrink into nickels. I guess some people didn't have a sense of humor, and yes, I know I'm a dork. As I believe B. Waller had put in the comments, he's like, you're a dork. Obviously, I agree. But he did it joking around, but obviously is someone who knows me, so. I did have one video where it was like a year after I posted it, someone was like, that's not the amount of silver, it's this, whatever, and I was like, well, at the time of editing, and if you can tell, I posted it over a year ago, basically, is what I was saying. At that time, silver was whatever I was saying it was worth. I said, it doesn't update to whatever the silver price is. When you post a video, it doesn't update. It's whatever you posted at. That's why I usually put at the time of filming. Like when I put at time of editing, you know, silver value X dollars or whatever. Yeah, common sense isn't very common. And so then they replied back and went, "Oh, sorry." It's like, dude. Number one, you didn't even look at how old the video was. I mean, it was well over a year. Not like 3 or 4 years, but it wasn't like I posted it a week before or something. And at that time, a silver dime was worth like, I don't know, it was like $2.50 or something. Actually, I think it was like $1.70 or something like that. Come on. We're on roll 23, and we only had 5. Today for lunch at work, they were going to have chicken bacon wraps. I was going to get it, but then the office manager decided to buy pizza for the entire office. Even though half of us aren't under her department, it was everybody in the office, so. Finally. And so they were asking what people wanted from this local place. And I said, I'm fine with pretty much anything. I said, my favorite's the buffalo chicken. So they ended up getting one of those, and a few people tried it. And when I went and finally got a piece, I bit into it, and I was like, oh man, this has got some kick today. I was like, usually it's like you can't taste any buffalo on it. I was like, and this one, it like surprised me. My boss, the CFO, he said, I don't know what that orange one was, but I took one bite and he goes, nope. I said, oh, the orange one? I said, that's buffalo chicken. I said, it's a buffalo hot sauce. He's like, nope. He goes, one bite was enough. But I told people, I said, if you really want it to be hotter, I've got all the hot sauce in my drawer. I said, this one's only a 2.5 million Scoville. My problem is I can never find chipotle that's hot. A 1951 5-1. So I searched and searched and finally found one that was smoked ghost pepper, smoked habanero, smoked serrano, smoked jalapeno, ghost pepper extract, habanero extract, and capsicum extract. Michael E. The only one? So with all the extracts and everything in it, it moves it into 2.5 million Scovilles. But the funny thing is even though a few drops is hotter than crap, you can still taste the food. Like you can taste the chipotle and you can still taste your food. So it's not just hot for the sake of being hot. called Wicked Tickle XXX. Roll 25, halfway through. I do buy Chipotle by the pound bag, Chipotle powder. Because most Chipotles, to me, like I said, have no heat whatsoever. And I finally found one that has some heat, so I bought it by the pound. A lot of people don't know that you can buy Chipotle powder by the pound. Not even like needing to be a restaurant or anything, just a regular person. Although I'm not regular, so. I do have a hot sauce that I made that I take to work. I've got a little bit left from the last time I made it. My mom grew me, because I live in a townhomes, I call them apartments, but I live, I don't have a place for a garden and everything. And so she grew a bunch of habaneros and ghost peppers, and I made my own hot sauce. It was habanero, ghost pepper, roast them in the oven, take the seeds out. I don't mind the membrane stuff because that's where the heat is, but it's the seeds I don't like. So I simmer that with a tomato, onion, garlic, apple cider vinegar, and lime juice, and let that simmer for a bit, and then I blenderize it, and then I pour it through a sieve and return it back to the pot and bring it back to a simmer for a while, and then re-blenderize it and re-sieve it. And then I don't throw away all the stuff that's been sieved out. I take that, put it in a container, give it to my mom, and she freeze dries it, and then I grind it into a powder. Carolina Reaper? Yeah, I would love that. But the sauce itself, I would say, is probably about 200,000 Scoville or something. I mean, it's ghost peppers and habanero peppers, and perfect. 1954, 5, 4. I know we got at least one. Put that on the board and see who else got it. And so then I take the freeze-dried stuff and grind it into a powder, and then I have my liquid stuff and bottle it. And so I take it to work and I fill up a hot sauce bottle and see, we start with Crafty in 74. Oops, not Crafty 74. Crafty and 74. And then we got Jim Thompson and Michael Rose. Michael R, not Michael 4. Cannot type tonight. Crafty 74, JT, Michael R. Yeah. So at work they had like burritos or something, and they used some, and it's one of those where you can put some on, not as much as you would like a Tabasco or something. But they're like, it's more than that stuff in your drawer. And I said, well, that's why I keep it in my drawers, because someone would just dump it on without paying attention. And then they would be down in the ER or something because too hot for most people. That's why I don't trust it keeping it in the fridge down there. I said I'll put my stuff because that is, I put it into an old bottle I just cleaned out, and it was an habanero stuff, and so if they obviously see it, they'll be like, oh, habanero, okay. But they can put a little drizzle on, not like a huge line, but a little bit of drizzle on. And they say that's okay, but they're like, that stuff in your drawer, man. They're like, 3 drops is enough. Just keep drinking, just keep drinking. See, and I'm one of those lucky ones. Most people are like, it burns going in, burns coming out. Well, I don't find I have that problem. Must be my body is different. A lot of people say they can't eat spicy food after they have a gallbladder, and I found that after I had a gallbladder, I could actually eat spicier than I did before. No touchy, no pain. It's true. Because I ate spicy before gallbladder, but I probably ate spicier even after. But like I said, I know a lot of people that say that after they had a gallbladder, they cannot eat spice whatsoever. You want spice, but not try to bring your mouth off? That's the problem with me is, as long as I can taste the food, I don't care if it's hot. Like, hey, I know who that Sarah Vincent Z3S is. It's my mom's account, but it's probably my dad. It's probably actually Vince. Although it could be Mom. Have a ton of finds tonight. My drink of the night, brought to you by Fresca Peach. And like I said, unfortunately, it's backwards. I'm giving them the advertising and not getting paid for it, whereas they should be paying me to advertise for them. And they have Fresca, which is the original, Fresca Peach, and Fresca Black Cherry. I would say I like Fresca Peach out of the 3 the best. Oh yeah, it's good. It's a good peach flavor. It's not some god-awful peach flavor. Fresca is a Coke product, I believe, because it's the same shelves as all the Coke products: Dr. Pepper, Fresca, Barks, Fanta, Coke, Sprite. All those are under the Coke area, and then 7-Up is its own section, and Pepsi has Starry, Mountain Dew, Trying to think of some of the other ones. If he said, here's a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi, I'd take a Diet Pepsi. Coke Zero or Diet Pepsi, I'd take a Diet Pepsi. 30 rolls down, 20 to go. I like Pepsi Zero, Diet Pepsi. Sierra Mist is no longer made. It used to be a Pepsi, but now they've changed it to Starry. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly some person whose name was Starry, and they used it in their social media, basically, I guess, sued him or something. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've read numerous times, numerous places. But they had to rename it. So, of course, they are not just like, oh, we have to rename it. They were like, oh, let's rebrand it. But all it is Sierra Mist. So Sierra Mist does not exist. I don't know, it could have been some stripper name for all I know, but I don't know, something to do with supposedly some kind of, someone already had the name or something, but a girl who took the trademark after they let it fall. Yeah, that could be too. See, that's the problem, is some places don't pay attention to what they have, and then yeah, that sounds more like what I had heard was something about a lawsuit, and that makes sense. Like I said, I don't know how true that is. I mean, you see it on the internet, so obviously it has to be true. If it's on the internet, it's true. I love meeting some of those kind of people that, well, I saw it on the internet. Well, hell, I saw Dancing Kittens. I saw Baby doing the Macarena. Obviously, it's true because it was on the internet. Kittens can't dance. Well, you'll have to look it up because, like I said, on the internet it showed they do. Well, I'm on the internet, so obviously it's something. Everything I say has to be true. Just like this is a dime, and it is made of copper. From the year 1214. And because I said it, and it's on the internet, it's true. It's a copper dime from 1214. 2-foot troll. I love seeing the case updates. It's like, man, 8 felony arson counts or something? Awesome. Thanks for sticking holder. Hopefully whatever problem was going on is fixed. If you want to get a guess in, you're welcome to, holder. Yeah, a few people are saying they're lagging, and I was going to say mine's showing that there's nothing. But at work today, we were constantly lagging and being weird. I'm not supposed to give you the date that it's 12/14? Oh, dang it. Well, I guess anybody puts 12, 14, they're going to win. Another 54. '50s are saying, not tonight. We're not going to do that. Let's see, update that. Another 54 shenanigans. Yes. Tyler and Crafty. Sweet. Anybody besides those two? And welcome, Kyle Reynolds. I guess I didn't see you pop in. Yeah, it shows stream health excellent, no dropped frames. Thanks, first time watching, but not the last. Awesome. Hey, Ron Pierce, welcome. If you subscribe, you can get instant points to play games like the Gamble and stuff like that. So, otherwise, it'll take a minute for being in chat and that sort of thing. It looks like you have 300, so I'll give you a couple million there. And if you're new, if you hit that like button, when I get to 50 likes, I'll do another giveaway. A 1 ounce copper round. I did, so my daughter would started filling her 2 books that she had of the Canadian leafies. She likes the Canadian scents. She calls them leafies because there's a leaf on them instead of Wheaties, the American one. She's always liked the leafies. So I got her book 1 and 2 for her Christmas and birthday. So we started filling that in. Got a pretty decent way through. Hey, Yorka Hunt. And of course we can't get pennies to search anymore, pretty much. So I found a 1,000 leafies from 1922 to 2012, I think it is. BH can probably tell me on that. But 1,000 of them for 30 bucks. Everybody else wanted way more. Yeah, thank you. If you're on a cell phone, at least an Android, you can double tap the screen and that'll do the like button. So when I get those leafies, we'll go through all the leafies and see what else we can put into the book. That's a pretty good one because a lot of the people want like 7-8 cents per leaf. Like I said, I found this. It was a lot of 1,000 of them for, I think, $29. Hey, Queen Cody. Where'd the silver go? I don't know. That's what I'm kind of wondering. This is a sister box to Monday night. Monday night we had quite a few good things. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I could pull it up and tell you. Seems like we had 2 war nickels and a buffalo and a 30s and some 40s and 50s in 2009. Sounds like, and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Coin Hunts Texas still here? Are you streaming later tonight? If so, I'll pin your link. Or if anybody else is going to be streaming or anything, let me know and I'll pin them. And a lot of those came, it was about 4 rolls worth that, here, not tonight. Okay. That's one of those I try to send people to other streams, so. But KJ had sent 2 rolls to her and of Canadian leaves, and plus all the ones that we had found when I was able to get pennies. And that's how we filled up the book. Ike's for 1,000, or yeah. It's like, no. Let me see if is it this one? Yes. While we're doing that, this is what we filled off of all those. So this is the book 2, this is book 1. And I love how they left this one in here. She goes, why is they forgot to take that out? And I said, no, because there's only 5 that's ever been found. So they left that in there just in case for some weird reason. But obviously we have a lot of the older ones, and then some of these newer ones. We have a bunch of them in the middle, but that is what we had got filled. Hey, Super Ann. Anybody else who's come in, like I said, it's want to say hi, might have forgot you at times or something, but kind of doing multiple things at once, it's hard to pay attention to everybody. So yeah, for those 2 rolls from KJ and the ones that we had found from all the other boxes, that is how much we've gotten filled so far. So, all right, thank you, Jimmy. This one here, last year, 1959. In the year 59. It's not the way it goes, but that's the way I decided to do it tonight. Got that on the board. Now let's see who the winners were. We got KJ and Vincent. Oops, let's spell it correct. Not Vincent. Tim Ivans, VMC. So KJ, Vincent, Tim Ivans, and VMC. And Marsh, I think you're a little behind. Hey, EIT. I haven't got the sticker and stuff sent out, but I'll be doing that. Hey, Brian Robinson snuck in. He was a 2-time winner on Monday. Coin Cody had 59. Okay, thank you. So I'm glad I have you guys, because I miss some. Sometimes you guys miss one. Someone else will see one that someone else missed. I show 48 likes, so a couple more, and IHC round I won 3 weeks ago finally arrived. Well, yeah. I got a ding on eBay. They said that it was late shipping, and that I shipped it late and it arrived late. Well, I'm doing a coin roll hunt tomorrow afternoon. Canadian $2 coins. Oh, nice. Post your exclamation me. Just want to make sure subscribed. I'm sure I am, but I will try to watch that. I am subscribed, and I've got notifications turned on. The other one I had subscribed, but now I have notifications turned on now. So, yeah, it wasn't turned off. It was just, it wasn't all notifications. So if you turn the bell on, you get notified whenever there's new videos and posts and things like that. After every stream, I post the results, usually that night or the next day or something like that. Right now we're sitting at 340s and 650s, so it hasn't been a great box. We've only got 13 rolls left. Yeah, so eBay dinged me. It's the only one I've had, but still kind of irks me. And I filed an appeal, and they said, almost immediately, they replied back and said, it was sent late and arrived late. So I basically replied back to them and said, you guys are obviously stupid and blind, because you can see I did it. I dropped it off the next morning. It's not my fault. They sat on it for 4 days, and then it went to the regional facility, sat there for over 2 weeks, and then finally got to the destination and was delivered at 3.5 weeks. I said, I shouldn't be penalized because a priority mail package should not take 3.5 weeks. I sent it according to your rules. They haven't got back on it, but not going to, obviously. But it's like, come on. You're penalizing me because the USPS took 3.5 weeks to deliver a priority mail package? Like I said, everything's always been in the top. Everything has been sent out like they order it the next day, because I have 2-day handling time. I know. It just irked me that they didn't even like look at it. I sent all the tracking info and showed that it sat there in Las Vegas for 2 weeks. Everything. And it was like, basically within 10 minutes they had replied back and said, nope, sorry, denied. I was like, screw you. But yeah, it's one of those, it's like, I knew they weren't going to do it, but that's the only ding that I've had. Yeah, and that's the thing, is all mine, I print the label, I get the sale, I print the label that night, and I drop it off the next morning, and usually it's except for like the weather that happened the one time, it was, normal. And I'm, top of everything on all that stuff. But they give you 5 dings before they kind of penalize you, but it's like, that's my first ding, and I've never had one. You can see everything's been sent out literally the next day. I dropped it off that next morning. It's not my fault they didn't scan it like they were supposed to, and then they sat on it for 2 weeks in a processing center. Yeah, and see, the thing with mine is it showed that I did the label, and then it sat there for 4 days before the post office marked it as received. And I had dropped it off at 9 o'clock the next morning, because that's when they open here. And I'd even emailed the person and said, just so you know, your first time, it probably will not scan until it gets to Las Vegas. But just to let you know, I'm sending it at 9 o'clock in the morning. They didn't leave like a bad feedback or anything. They didn't leave feedback, but it's just irritating. But yeah, I do, because I sell all the boxes. Usually it's a box of $50 or whatever. And so I send it priority mail flat rate and signature confirmation. It has to be signed for. It cannot be just dropped off. It has to be picked up, signed in person. Got my HPs. It's pretty thin. You're welcome. So I do it more to cover myself so that you can't just be like, well, it was left on the doorstep and someone came and stole it. Nope, sorry. You signed for it. Uh, 2022 Denvers, I haven't ever gotten them. I have sold 10 boxes of 2025 Denvers. The first ones I sold, they were about $1,050 per box that I sold them for. The last 4 that I got, I only got about, I think it was $850 off of those, which still, I mean, made a few $100, $150 or so $100. But I also have 2024 Denvers, or a box of 2025 Phillies. And those ones haven't sold yet, but I dropped the price now, so. And I posted 2024 Denvers, and I've sold a few, like, because I put them in lots of like 5 rolls or whatever, and I've sold a few. But I've factored it up at the lowest amount I could go, like with discounts and everything, and dropped it down to that, and it's like I've kind of got to the point where they're not really selling anymore. Then I'll just open them and dump them back in the machine. My philosophy is I can sit on them for a month. The worst I can do is lose about 5 cents in interest. $40 down, roll 42. I've only sent a few packages to Canada, but so far I haven't had any problems with customs or anything. It looks like the last one cleared. What I did was I was going to put whatever it was, because you have to put the harmonization numbers and stuff. And I was like, I don't think that's right. So I went on AI and a couple different places and had them check it, and it's a good thing I checked it because they offered to have different ones. They said, try it this way. This is actually the correct way. So the harmonization numbers I did haven't been stopped or anything that went through as far as I know. So all of them that I've sent have been fine. But it's the way the harmonization numbers are is where I think they get flagged. Because the way I was going to do it, AI said, nope, that will get flagged and you'll have to pay customs or duties or whatever it is. And that's when it said, do it this way with these numbers. And no 2024s. Hey, Philly Rob. No 2024s, 2009s. The only thing we found are 340s and 6 from the 50s. No War, no Buffalo, no semi-keys, no anything. Looks like it's going to kind of be a little bit of a quick box, but afterwards we'll, because I always do the regular stream part and do the wheel of names from throughout the night. Yeah, if I can do a letter, I've never had problems with letters, but the packages, yeah, what was it? 23 or 16 or something like that. Plus all the other ones. There we go. See you, Jimmy. Thanks for stopping. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Yeah, I haven't. The most I've found are 2 buffaloes in a box. Most I found are 2 war nickels in a box. I found a few like semi key dates in a box. Are we at 50 likes? Mine shows 49, which means we're probably at 50. $33. I remember it was like 5 rows of them or something, and like a couple at the bottom, and but yeah, I was like, man. Thank you, Jimmy. Another last year, 1959. Get that on the board, and then we'll do the 50 likes. And for me, I always have one behind. Everybody will see like 59 or whatever, or 50, and I'll be like, oh, I only see 49. We had Argent. We had 74. We had Kentucky Fried. Those 3, I think. Giveaways. Go to the 50 like giveaway. You got 4 minutes to enter. Exclamation GAW. Exclamation GAW. I'll get you in on the giveaway for a 1 ounce copper round. Oh, before I do that, see, there was an updated one. If you want to email me if you win, I can send that to you. It's mostly the same as the other nights, but I've added a few on, like number 6 was one of them that I just had in the box, but I labeled them as a 6 because it was an empty spot. a few things like that, like number 11, that sort of thing. So I can send that to you. But on the Canada too, yes, I do send to Canada. Good night, Jimmy. So I had got some buffalo nickels because I was very low, and because I've sent giveaways up to BH and Maple Leaf. They've all won, so I just sent it in a card and hasn't had any problem. So I picked up some buffaloes because I needed some for some of the nickel packs. And besides a 26S semi-key date, I also found these two 36S over S's. And I'll show you why I believe that they're an S over S. Where are you? That one there. You can see the S poking out the bottom. That's not the best one. This is the one I actually found first. And when I compare them to other pictures and stuff, that is die stage 2, I believe it is. I can't remember if this was 1 or 2, but you can see that S sticking out from the bottom. But this was the one I found first, and I was like, wait a minute, is that a D or an S? And when I put it under the scope, and I was like, oh, that's an S over S. So that, and then a 1926S semi-key date in the last lot that I had found, or bought. Because I did buy some. I found some were online that were selling. You got a minute left, enter GAW, exclamation GAW. I know it looks like an S over D, but I can't see anything finding an S over D. But, I mean, they're not a horrible condition. Not like mint, but, you know, good legible dates. Maybe you found, hey, maybe so. Never know. At least an S over. I just found it strange that a company usually doesn't send stuff like that, but I found the semi-key date and 2 S over S's. Have I got more Libertads? No. I have not been able to get more of those. There's most of them I've gotten are Bitcoins and St. Gaudens are the ones that I've gotten the last ones. All right, we had 38 users. The winner of tonight's 50 light giveaway is VMC this time. Congratulations. We got N Marsh at the 25 and the VMC at the 50. So I've got you written down. Because he stole your points. Oh, that's hilarious. So congratulations. But yeah, I found it funny that a company let those go through. Usually you never find key dates, semi-keys, errors, you know, mint mark. And I found I had bought 100 of them and got to run, you know, on the next one. Okay. Thanks for coming. As usual, I stream every Monday and Thursday at 5:30. Tonight, after the regular part of the stream, I'll be opening a box of halves because I picked up 5 boxes of those. And the way it's going is it's going to be a pretty quick night. I've only got 6 loaves. Six loaves. Did you know I have loaves of nickels now? 6 rolls of nickels. Well, I send you to the new list. I believe I can do that. First, I got to pick up all the coins. Only 2 went on the ground, but now they're in the stack. And just making sure, yep. There you go, VMC. Okay, fine, Jim. If you insist. Yeah, most of them are the same. There's a few that have been taken. There's one that might not be on there. Got to check with the about the jackalope one. $74, are you still in here? I know that you were interested in maybe getting that jackalope for one of your hunts. So figured I'd give you a first chance at that one. I do only have 1 left. I don't know if he's still here or not, but well, it's not too long ago. Yes, okay. So the jackalope is not on. I need to take the jackalope off that list. So, just to let you know. When was that? Number 8. There we go. Oh, it's because I already took it out. I was trying to find it, and I was like, where is it? It's because I already took it out of the offerings. Last jackalope. It is yours. 74. Been trying to get more, but if I buy them, the lowest I've been able to find them is for about $3.50 each. Which means if I get them, I would then have to raise my price to be about the same. That's why I can keep them at 3 right now, but if I buy them at 3.5, I'd have to raise them to at least close to 4. 3.5, cost averaging would still be about breaking even. So I've been not buying any unless I can find them to where I can still cost average. The problem is I can get some for cheaper, but then all the shipping ends up bumping it up into that over $3 range. So, but I have seen a few. No, you're good. I have seen a few websites start offering copper rounds again, but one of them, the cheapest, has them at $4.99. The other cheapest one that they offer on one site is $14 or $12.99 or something. And it's like, oh hell, I can get them for a third of that on eBay. So basically, if I can get them for under 2.5 with shipping, I can still offer them for 3 to break even minimum. If I can get them for less, 2.25, then I make about 25 cents. But then once you factor in all the supplies, then it breaks even basically. So yeah, it was like everybody's out of them, but then the ones that I have seen, like I said, some of them are offering like $13.90, $14, $15 something. It's like, what the crap? There are a few places that have some of the 1 ounce in again, but like I said, they're $4.99 each. And that's the cheapest I found on an actual website that sells coins and bullion. Let's see, Michael. Like I said, it's mostly to do as giveaways and pass on to you guys. I'm not looking at really making much, basically enough to cover my costs and processing fees. That's why I do it. If I was trying to sell them, I'd sell them for $4 each to make about $1, but mostly to, just like my 5 ounces, I only make a couple bucks on those because I do them just to pass on to you guys. Like that Love Thy Farmer. I was able to find some more, but by the time I bought them, I would have to, well, bought them and paid for shipping and everything. I could turn around and sell them, but I'd have to sell them for, I think it was $37. I think I could do 37 with shipping. So it's one of those that, I mean, the guy still wanted to buy it at 50. You could turn around and flip it and make, you know, $10, $15, but if you want, I can send you some 26D nickel rolls to keep or give away. Yeah. I can always look at doing something like that. It's also one of those that, because like I think a roll on, because I emailed you that one, it was sold just today. A box was $490 $95 or something, and then they charge like 20 bucks for shipping. So you can sell them. Or you could always do like got 20 today, put 5 away, kept 1 for my niece. I think a lot of it just depends on what the mintage ends up being, but I would at least be interested in getting some, and even if it's a roll for my kids or something. Last roll, but that last roll we had 2 guesses. This one, we'll see what we get. It's one of those things that if you guys are sending stuff, I don't know if you use Pirate Ship, but it saves me a ton of money. There was one that I saw someone had sent me something. This is not one that I want to throw away. Thank you, Coin Cody. Now, if you do notice, it's a Denver. Unfortunately. Because if it was a 55 Philly, it would be a semi-keyed 8. Get that on the board, and we do have a second one here. That's a new one. Let's see who got it. Anybody get 55? We got 54, 56, 54, 54, 54, 54, 56. Just 54s and 6s. All right. Well, all the 54s and 6s are getting on the wheel. So that's Brian R. Vincent. Garrett. William. KJ. VMC. Jim Thompson. So Brian, Vincent, Garrett, William, KJ, VMC, and Jim Thompson. 75 high D, man. I found some that are a little bit higher, but not what I would consider a high D. But I've been looking and looking and looking for them. That's why I always look at them when I do go through. And out of this last roll, we've also got a 2009, but it's a Denver, unfortunately, BH. All right. So the last roll finally gave up something. This was still out of the roll before, so that was roll 49. Another 1940. 40. Let's see. I doubt anybody got it. I don't think I saw anybody. 40. We had a 39 with Vincent. Looks like Vincent. Whoa. Let's get it on the right thing here. We got a few 64 Denvers. We'll search for the D over D. If I can get it onto the scope. That 2009 I accidentally threw in my throwaway box with all my wrappers. It just flew out of my hand. I was like, whoop, that's not one I want to throw away. I don't want to throw away any of them, but it's definitely not one I would even want to accidentally throw away. Too bad some of these with a nice clear mint mark can't be a D over D. Like that one. If that could have been a clear one, that would have been nice. Well, not too much of a fancy one, but let's see what we can do. We have the 09. This is the list that I had for you. I had 55, but that is not the Philly. We had the 59, 59, a 54. This one is not the mint mark, even though we found an S40 already. So this one is a 54 Denver. A 1951. Oh, is that one? We got a 51 Denver, which means we can go in 1958. We've already got, and another 1954. Uh-oh. That was weird. Streamlabs says my chat disconnected, and then it said successfully connected. So I was like, what? I don't know. So we had a 1940 non-S, 1940 non-S, 1941. We already had the Denver, but that's not a Denver, and the 46. So we did find you the 1951 Denver, at least. BH. Would you like me to go through and see if I can find any of these out of some of my other ones? Would you like a couple Buffalo nickels, a V nickel, an Indian head penny? Anything in particular you're looking for? Is 13 finds, none of them semi or key dates or anything. The only one was the one that you needed. I disconnected once. It was the 60s, and there was a, what was I saying again? 2009P. I wish I could get. All mine are Denvers. I've already looked through those. All the ones I found here, Denvers. Otherwise, I'd send you one. Like I said, I rarely find many Phillies on the new stuff. But yeah, I can go through and see if I can find any of these. I don't know if I have them, but I can check. And because I got quite a few things like regular Jeffersons. Go through Buffaloes. I got regulars and mint marks. I got a couple tubes. I've got both mints and no mint. And then, like I said, I've got V nickel. I've got a, of course, Indian head penny. Anything in particular you need? Do you find a check? Okay. Figure I can look at these real quick. Hey, Larry Downing, yours was one of the packages I sent out today. That's right. Was a 41S. While I'm doing that, I can do this. So this will be for the end of stream and the wheel giveaway. So I will just copy the names and put them on the wheel. So if you enter, you will be entered into both the wheel and the giveaway. I kind of found a simpler way of doing it, so I figured why not. Because while you're doing that, I'm going to go through these and see if there's any I can find for BH. Exclamation GAW will get you in. These are the ones I just happen to have out, so I figure I might as well go through them while you guys are entering. That 42 non-silver, I'm assuming, is a Philly. Oh, yep, I will get that on there too. Thank you. Look at this one real quick. Look at this one real quick. Exclamation GAW will get you on the wheel and the entry into the giveaway. Let's see what this one is. So we're doing that. The oldest name or the oldest coins was 1940. So 1940 we had Mike Schleiz. Mike is the only one with a 1940. So I'm going to give you 2 entries on that. And then do this. Okay. So the giveaway part, 35 people for the end of stream. And Marsh, you already won the 25 likes, so we'll get a different one, unfortunately. Lyle. But you are still eligible for the wheel. Sorry. I know. And I pasted everybody on, so I just copy off the list of entries. So that's why everybody has their actual name instead of like up here. So everybody that was on the giveaway is on the wheel. 80 names, shuffle up. And when DHC gets to the top, that's just the thing I do. Coin Cody is the Wheel of Names winner. As usual, normal rules apply, not sponsored by YouTube. Has to be 18 or older, 13 or older with parent permission, all that sort of stuff. So there you go. Again, I can send you that. If you need, just email me and ask for the sheet, and I will send it to you. Can you get 23? Yes, you can. That makes it easy. Let me write this on. Number 23. And it's in a tube. Good night, Vincent. Thanks for coming. Hey, Glass. We're just finishing up the regular part of the stream. You just missed the giveaway. So, Queen Cody, there is your St. Gaudens with the Flying Eagle. Lyle and Enmarsh, you want 23 also? Okay. Makes that easy. Number 23 is the one I have more of. The other St. Gaudens I have 2.5 of. Almost 2 full tubes. Same thing with yours. You get a flying upside down eagle with an upside down St. Gaudens. Hey, guess you never know. So we had Enmarsh and Queen Cody. I've got yours. Enmarsh, you had the Ducky Race, so I'll get yours in a double envelope. For Brian, I've got double envelope. Let's see, Mike, KJ, Garrett, Argent. Okay. Might come back. Okay. Well, if you come back, that's great. So VMC and Lyle. BH. Was this 42 non-silver a Philly, I'm assuming? I only had that a little bit of ago. It disconnected me, but I haven't had anything since then. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. So, you need a 53 San Francisco. That's not what I want. You needed a 1940 San Francisco. $19.50. Hey, you already had 50. And why did I pull that one out? Oh, that's not a 1958. It's a 1938. Out of Philly. You did a 1942. Out of Philly. Let's see, what else do I have? So off of your list, so far, we've now crossed off that one, that one, that one, and that one. So there's 4 for you. Let's see if there's any in these ones that we need. Another 1953. I got the 41, 46, 54, 41, 42, 52. 51, 56, 48, 48, 47, 53, 52, 58, 53, 41, and a 54. Oops. So BH, we then crossed off 4 more of yours. We got that 42 non-silver, the 1938 Philly, the 1940 San Francisco, and the 1953 San Francisco. Plus the other one that we found tonight. So those 4 still make up for part of that skunking. The 38 Denver, San Francisco, and 39 San Francisco, of course, are key dates. Those are going to be harder to find. 1950 Denver, or Philly, is a key, semi-key. That's going to be harder to find. 51S is a semi-key, harder to find. And the 55 Philly is a semi-key date, so harder to find. And a 2009. So these are these are key. That's a semi, and a semi. So the only ones that off this list that I didn't find for you, at least that I could find in any way, are the 3 key dates and the 3 semi-key dates. All these, and the 2009 Philly. I know I found one for someone, but I can't remember who. So I'm going to put plus for album. And even though I found a few, few things like that, let's give you a Buffler. So a 1937 out of Denver. And that's not it. $19 something. I'll give you that Buffalo and a V-nickel. Slick one. hopefully that makes up a little bit. So I found, as your skunk, 4 for your album, a buffalo, and a slicker V-nickel. Great supporter, and definitely was not the best box. It's probably one of our worst, unfortunately. I'm just going to include this just to do that. Let's see. Yes, I can, Lyle. Going good, we already got that one. Round to 12. Okay. And I'll open a box of halves here in just a minute. Number 12, okay. So the only one I'll be waiting on is Lyle. Got a whole bunch of stuff to send off now. Thank you to 74 for all those membership donated, plus the super chats. We had a $5 one and a $2 one. Technically, it was a $4.99 and a $2. Yes, I know. Oh, ow. So I picked up 5 halves, $half boxes, I should say, not halves. 1 from my credit union, 4 from the bank, so I'll open the credit union one tonight. I actually want to save the box because I might need it to send something else. Box I might need was in worse condition than that one was. I doubt I'll need it because I'd have to sell an entire box of whatever it is, but see what kind of goodies we can find in these rolls. I haven't been super lucky on any of it. 2017 Nipsey. I guess I'll pull out 71s. Usually I don't, but maybe I'll pull them out and just see if I get one. I never do. That's why I quit pulling them out, because I've never found one. I used to pull out every single one I found, and after years of searching and I never found one, that's when I was kind of like, you know what, forget it. 73. '73. 71. Whoops. One of those I'm done way early tonight. Sometimes I'm not even done when my kids are calling. Tonight I was done in 8 o'clock and we didn't get started until almost 6. But we did find you one that you needed off your list, plus some that I pulled out to make up for it. Good night. Thanks for coming. Appreciate all your support. And I do have the ones that I've been pulling out to make another set. That was for AG, I believe it was. I've got it over there. I just trying to remember off the top of my head, and I think it's AG's. I got quite a few for you. Went through and found some stuff for Larry he had been looking for. So it's one of those things that if I can find things for people, and I do. Okay. I'll have to get that in a minute because it is buried back behind these coins. So I'll get that for you here in a minute, Lyle, and get that sent out. and try to get everything sent out tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. I think I found one silver and a couple DDOs, and that's it in this year. You're welcome, Maple Leaf. Glad it got there. In one piece, unlike Jim Thompson's. Now, his rounds got there in one piece, but the envelope got there in two pieces. We'll see you, Super Ann. Thank you for coming. And for future, yes, any of my giveaways and stuff are available for US and Canada. It doesn't cost too much more to send to Canada for a copper round. Hopefully. Quite a few 72 tonight. They fired a lady at work, So everything's kind of been in jumbles, and the one lady said, "Are you working 9 p.m. to 7 in the morning?" And I was like, they didn't ask me to. I was planning on midnight to 7 like normal. So I guess we'll have to see. I'll have to find out if they were thinking of having me cover early and just forgot to tell me. Not that it's a huge deal, but I mean, it's only 3 more hours. But they need to tell me. And I checked, and they still haven't posted her position on the website. And they fired her on Tuesday. No. Yeah, Tuesday. So at least I have a few boxes of halves to search after streams. Not that it's super exciting for halves, because I never find anything. That kind of scared me for a minute. The way I opened it up, it looked like silver, but then it was like, no, it's copper on the other side. 2018. Not that it's in great condition or that I need it. I only have about close to 100 2018s. just texted my coworker because she was like, "Nah, they told me I'm working till midnight." And then they put me in there as 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That's why she was asking me, because she's like, "Well, I was asked to work until midnight, but they put you down at 7 o'clock." I was like, "Well, I went down today and asked, you have me down for 00 to 07. Maybe she wrote it on the wrong day for the wrong time or something. I don't know." I told her, if they said to work until midnight, you're welcome to have it until midnight. 2006. It's one of those things that it sucks having all the calls taken, but even though I'm only making half of what I was making in call, it's really nice not being on call for 45 hours straight. So it's like, I'll just tighten the budget a little bit and not worry about that extra money I'm losing. Because I budget off of the 80 hours anyway. So everything that's call is basically extra. So if I want to do something fun with the kids or whatever, buy extra coins. So I guess they're having the one girl work 7A to 7P, and then having the other lady work 7P to 7A. The other lady that's doing the 7P to 7A is usually the one that works during the week, during the nights anyway. She always does all the call during the week. She has a couple different jobs, like she drives bus for the school, and she cleans a couple places, but she does the call for the extra money. And I figured it up at one point, she was actually making more than I was making full-time just in call. Because the way the call works is every shift, every 12-hour shift, you get a premium callback, which is equal to 3 hours worth of call, or 3 hours worth of time. And then you have callback. Everything you work is an hour, time and a half. And then everything you're not working, if it's during the week, you get 10% of your wage per hour, and if you are on the weekend, you get 15% of the wage. So it can add up when you get a double time or a triple time just to get called in, plus a time and a half for everything you work, plus 10 to 15% of your wage just sitting around, sleeping, doing whatever. So it's pretty lucky to do that. Plus you get, if you turn in your phone bill, you can get up to $50 a month as long as your bill is 50 or more. So then they give you that. And even though I'm not doing as much call, I still submit mine to myself and put it into the system, and they sign it. Because I put all this stuff in. And until they tell me no, because I still do call, I'm going to continue submitting it. But I guess construction's kind of behind, so they're thinking of when they were moving me to like a different position is probably going to be pushed back a little bit, because construction, they're not happy with the company that's overseeing it because they've dropped the ball a few times. And the project's probably 3 weeks behind because of it. So they basically sat him down and said, this is what's going to happen if you don't start doing it. We're going to start not paying you. We'll still pay the vendors and everything, but we're not going to give you money if you're not doing your job. Which, it's like, well, duh. You know, if you go to work and you're not doing your job, you get fired. Well, if you're not overseeing the construction like you should be, you should get fired. "23 rolls to go." No need to be sorry. Multitasking is just fine. Getting sidetracked is fine. Hey, Otis. Stream was short because there was not very many finds whatsoever. You can see a whole 13. So the stream kind of finished working on a box of halves. So I picked up 5 boxes, so now I've got plenty to do after streams. Can't multitask on phone. It can be very difficult. I flipped that one over. 20 rolls left. Let's do this. If I find a silver, I'll give away a copper round. How does that sound? Not that I don't want to give one away, it's just I know with the way my box hunts go, my dimes have been absolutely miserable. I think I've gone 14 boxes without a silver or a foreign. And I found 1 silver and 2 DDOs in the last 10 boxes of halves or something. So I guess I'm kind of betting against myself, kind of hoping that I kind of have to give one away. Kind of a backwards jinx, I guess you could say. Like when you say this isn't going to happen, because if I do this, or I'll do this if it happens, and then it happens, you're like, crap. But for me, I'd be going, woohoo, I get to give away a copper round. Or maybe, instead of a copper round, I'll do 2 consecutive $2 notes. 2018. I've noticed my Nifsies have dropped off dramatically because I used to get 18, 19 a box. And now I've been getting kind of like what other channels have been getting, like 9, 10 at the most. Night, Nick. $15 rolls left. One of those things that I like it when we find lots of stuff in nickel boxes, because then not only do you guys get stuff that whoever's box it is, but then more people get chances and things like that. I know. It's just, it feels like this one was the same pickup as the one from Monday, and Monday was good. And this one was, because sometimes the same pickup gives you really good stuff, and other times the same pickup doesn't do jack. So you can't always just say, oh, it's a sister box. Usually, it's like on these, if it's a sister box, it does pretty well. But I guess it's one of those things, it's more of going through them and seeing, and just like on the Buffaloes, you know, I got those ones I bought because I needed more for the packs, and ended up finding a semi-key and 2 S over S's. Who knows, maybe a D over S. I'll have to research more, but I've never seen anything on it. Because that's why I thought on that one it was a D over S, but it's like, no, I looked and I was like, I don't see a thing on D over S. Yeah, the other one was like unmistakable when I saw it, but the other one it was like, oh. And so I had first originally looked at the, see if there was a S over D or whatever, and I always look for varieties. I bought some Buffalo nickels to make some more nickel packs. And so I was going through them to see if there's any I needed from my collection, which I found a 1926 S semi-key date, and then, hey, Silverman, 2 1936 S over S's. Yeah, I checked the other ones for like all the DDOs and stuff, and I didn't see anything, but I always forget that it's Old Bell until someone says it. It's weird because I haven't had a ton of Nifsies, and my silver's also dropped off. Hey IT, good night. Thanks for coming. I understand I fall asleep all the time in streams, especially considering it's hard for me to sleep. Last couple nights though, I've taken all my mixture of stuff and I usually sleep within about an hour and a half last couple nights, which is nice. The only problem is I've been waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like can't get back to sleep for another hour and a half. So I guess it's a trade-off. You get to sleep early, but then you wake up early. I saw someone, it was, can't remember which channel it was, but they were showing something like 70 something coins that had been initialed by the same guy, and I rarely find any that are initialed. I get once in a while from Magic Marker Man that goes and crosses out the 74s. Copper Owl, yeah. And so, you know, the, as Pa would call it, Magic Marker Man, and crosses out the 74 so he doesn't have to look at them every time. And I come across one of those now and then. But it must be someone in his area that they just get recirculated, and that's the thing with me is I think all of the stuff here, when they get picked up, goes to like Vegas, and then from there, of course, it gets repackaged and sent out different. Well, there's only 5 NIFCs, which is absolutely crazy amazing. I used to find more than I do now, but I haven't found any lately.
Your son is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. Your son is attempting to
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, when my kids call me every night, and so I always just mute it, and while I talk to them, and usually I'll still put coins under the scope and stuff. So they always call right before 9, usually around 8:50, 8:55 type area. Unfortunately, I really hate the thing. I wish they'd just get rid of it and stay on one time. But they can't pull their heads out of their butts to agree on one thing. Then you had some fool that tried to change it so that clocks run on half hour. So instead of like being, say, 9 or 10, it would be 9:30. It's like, you realize nowhere else in the world really does that? It's like, call me at 10, and then at 9:30 you have to call him. It's like, that's stupid. Yeah. You're in, is it Hawaii? I think, what is it, Hawaii, Arizona, and then somewhere like in Indiana or something. I know Arizona doesn't because my sister lives there. I was going to say, I thought you were in Hawaii. Oh. I was wondering if we would find one. Not great condition, is completely beat up, but let me get a little bit pointer. How about that? So right there is the notch on the 4. You got the line down the R. You got the notching on the U. Hard to tell on this because of the damage, but got that serif on the T, or through the line through the S. Extra length on the white on the Y on the right side. Same thing with the T. I don't know about these ones. I never look up here, but I just always look right there. It's a 74 DDO. Too bad it couldn't have been a nice one. Never found like one that I'd really consider much of a grader. But found some decent looking ones, probably in AU or so. But at the time, have even an MS, it was, I think, not really worth it unless it was a high, like in the mid MS or something. But I've never gotten an MS. That's weird. Yeah, some of the places like PCGS will grade regular coins and only the known, like, regular varieties. The one that'll pretty much grade any variety, whether it's considered a main or whatever they call it, is Annex. So if you have one that's not really considered one like by PCGS, because they only do the whatchamacallit ones, then Annex will usually do them. See you, Summerman. Thanks for stopping in. What's interesting is I like on those 1936 S over S, PCGS has them on their site as one that they have. But I looked at NGC and I don't see an option on theirs. Like when you go to the 36S, there is no variety. It's like, that's kind of weird. Like I said, I don't even know if it's really good enough to grade. I'm not the best at judging grades. That's part of the problem. I either tend to grade them way lower than they are or way higher than they are. Like it could be a AU 58 and I'll either grade it as a 45 or 62. There you go. Just like on these ones, it's in the plastic, but I mean, the date and stuff is good. Liberty, full Liberty, just not touching the rim. The horn, it's mostly there. Tail is mostly there. And see, that's the one that's kind of like a weird S over alphabet. It looks kind of like a D, but I can't find any S over D stuff. And then the other one, good date. Liberty's not quite as good on that one. It's barely almost touching the rim. Same thing with the horn. It's semi there. You still got some fur stuff. You got the tail. And then that one is not quite as detailed on the S over S, but if you really get down to it, you can see that one. This is the one that's really noticeable. But if you're looking at it, what would you kind of grade that? It's one of those I have no idea. So, who knows? $74 DDO and 5 NIFCs. That's it. Let's see, Lyle, you said the 1877, number 16. Okay, that's what I thought it was. So, now that I've got all those out of the way, only got 6 left of those Indian head penny ones. Lots of Bitcoin. That's BH's stuff. The Jim Thompson in that. So I've got Lyle, Argent, Garrett, VMC, KJ, Mike S, Coin Cody, 2 for Brian R, and 2 for N Marsh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus a couple stickers. So Hopefully I'll get them out tomorrow, but I'll try my best. Luckily that I can send one for $1.52, or I can send two for $1.81. So literally 29 cents more to add a second one, which is crazy. These I can just usually send in regular envelope, but there you go. Well, thanks for hanging out and watching and playing and chatting. Thank you to 74 for the 10 memberships and the super chats. You can hold mine. I'm here. We're streaming once I'll get a couple. That's fine. Okay. That works. Thanks, Lee Marshall. Appreciate you. Everybody else who is here. Well, yeah. I mean, it's $1.50, so it's not like it's a ton. So, some people just like to get them. I've always told, like, Paw and stuff, channels that I would always be on. I'm like, if you gotta, want to wait and hold it, do it. I'm not in a hurry to get them usually. See you in March. Thanks for coming. Okay, tired now. But I think that'll do it. Like I said, kind of a little bit of a shorter stream, especially for the nickel part. But, oh well. You can't have great boxes all the time. That's part of the hunt. But we'll see you on Monday. I am hunting for what is Monday? The 9th. I'm hunting for Roy Hathaway. The 12th I'm hunting for 74. The 16th I'm hunting for 74. Then I'm open for a couple ones, and then I've got the 26th I will not be hunting. That night I have a work function. So the 26th, guess you'll have to find something else to do. Maybe watch reruns. Who knows? There you go. Thanks for coming. We'll see you. And have a nice evening and good weekend. I'll try to get these in the mail tomorrow, but the way it's looking right now, I'm kind of getting tired and don't know if I'll be able to really stay awake that long. Which is good for me, but bad for you guys. But lifelike. And actually, that's not a helicopter. I think that's just a plane flying low. No, that's a helicopter. It's got the thump, 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 thump sound. It's probably the other one, the big helicopter they send from St. George is a bigger one. And you can hear that. They come swooping in low right above the houses to do their flyover. Because they come in from south of town. They kind of come in ride over all the houses in the neighborhood, turn around, and then come over, and then when they get to the hospital, they, come in and land. And then they take off and they go back out. The other one comes from Page, and they just come straight over the hill, and then over the hill, and they come down over the houses, but not low, and then land. That one I think must have been Classic, the smaller one out of Page, because it wasn't as low and it wasn't as thump, 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 thump. And if you've been around helicopters, you know what that thumping, the difference between a plane engine and a helicopter. But yeah, you can usually tell the one out of St. George because it's a bigger helicopter and they fly way lower. Which is weird because they can actually fly higher than the smaller helicopter. But whatever. That's something I don't get paid to do. Alright, we'll see ya. I finished my first nickel box, 2 39s, 1740s, 1650s, 2 buffaloes, 30, 20, 20, holy crap, and 2 Canadians. That, man. Are the 39s any of the key dates? 39 Denver or San Francisco? With that kind of box, I would think, yeah, both of them. Can't believe it. 30 2024s? Jeez. What's that? 2 19 45 75 77, if I counted right. $77 fines? Jeez. Doesn't look like any war nickels though, but man, I haven't had a box like that. I think the most I've had was 6 2024s and like 3 or 4 09s. Two war nickels in a box, the most with 2 buffaloes in a box. I think the most was 6 2024s, and like the most was 5 or 6 2009s, and then 1 or 2 foreigns. I've had good boxes, but nothing like that, man. Even if you take out the 24s, I mean, you're still looking at, what, 45 fines? That is just crazy. I'm wondering if you have like a first 10 rolls. I was going to say, if you look and you have a bunch of the 40s and the 50s, and they're all kind of like a collection thing, you could have a collection dump going on. Another box might have a bunch of the other buffaloes and stuff in it. Brinks, yeah, we get Loomis boxes. Good old NF String and Sons. Ones where the top is a half flap. I think Brinks is, one of them is like just holes, but it's like a top flap all the way over and a bottom flap all the way, or the 2 flaps like all the way over from here to here on both of them. Mine, it's one that goes all the way over and the other one is halfway. That's the only ones I've gotten. The only one I haven't gotten, I've gotten one $50 box that was one of those square double-deckers, and I've gotten one that was the full flaps on top. All the rest are the ones like I did tonight where they're half flaps. Yeah, you never know. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see ya. I appreciate ya. I'll get this posted for the fines, and we will see you on Monday. Until then, have a good night.